Hello, and welcome back to the next episode of our Life 4.0, as we once again head inland to visit more of Norway's famous fjords. But first, we have an important stop to make in Ulsteinvik, so hop on board.
We had a beautiful stay at Sandhamn. There's got to be a million Sandhamns around Scandinavia, but this is a nice one as well, right up there in the category of wonderful harbors. Very quiet here. We're post-season. I don't think there was anybody at the hotel that manages the marina that we were at, but that's okay. The grocery store was open, and we had a lovely hike up the top of that peak up there. The sun came out like it is out now. Sun came out yesterday finally, and we had a really enjoyable day. Of course, that was followed by an evening of work. Did a bunch of engine maintenance that was due. Changed the oil and filter, changed both fuel filters, and replaced the impeller, tightened the serpentine belt. So, big day for TLC on the engine. We're using the engine a lot in the fjords, just there's either no wind or very temperamental wind comes and goes within 30 seconds of you rolling the sails out. So, a lot of motoring, so I was wanted to check on the engine and make sure we're up on the maintenance of it and oil levels and all that, because we're relying upon it so much, like we are today. Off we are. We're going to go towards the Geiranger Fjord with a stop at a town called Ulsteinvik, where we have another fellow 440 owner we're going to say hello to, and move on, make use of this wonderful day. So beautiful when it's sunny out.
Here's our journey today to meet up with Svein, a guy I had been communicating with since meeting on a Facebook group of owners of our style of sailboat. Our two sister boats side by side.
In the harbor at Ulsteinvik, just visited with our friends Svein and his wife, tied alongside there, and they have a cool sauna here. We would have loved to have tried. Yep. Chart says we shouldn't even be able to be in here. It's too narrow. So favor the right side a little bit.
His boat is dressed up beautifully.
All right, we're getting a little tour of the outer harbor area of Ulsteinvik by our friend Svein here. He looking for an excuse, I think, to show us around and get out on his boat today. He's actually going to take us down a little further here, under a bridge that we would not have gone under before. It's a 20-meter clearance bridge. We're 19.4 meters of mast height, and that's a little too close for our comfort, but he says he does it all the time, and other boats that are slightly taller than him go under the bridge. So he seemed excited to show us that, so I said, you can go under the bridge first, and then we'll go in after you, since our boats are exactly the same height.
Time has arrived. We're getting close to the 20-meter bridge up here. We're going to let Svein go ahead, be our local pilot here. You went a little closer to the red side. Wow, that is close. Wow.
Funny thing is, there's a light hanging down on the post up there.
Yeah, are we gonna miss it?
I hope so.
All right, I'm going to do this. Wow. I think I would go further off center next time to clear that hanging light by a little more. And he caught us going through. Fun to have that shot. And there it is. Happy to be on the other side of that bridge. Svein then leads us through the gauntlet of islets toward the wide open fjord. He has been so helpful in answering all kinds of questions as we prepared to visit Norway, and now as we are navigating her waterways. As I made this video, I noticed he had found an American maritime flag to fly in our honor. How thoughtful. Thanks so much, Svein. Until we meet again. We are now in this wide open water thoroughfare that leads deeper into inland Norway. From here, we'll visit Hjørunfjorden, then Storfjorden. These car ferries are everywhere, and they run very frequently and often non-stop because they are part of the Norwegian equivalent of the interstate highway system in the U.S. Check this out. If I navigate on Google from this town across the fjord to this town, notice that the directions state this route includes a ferry. Although they are hard to see, all of these dotted lines are ferry rides. And this solid line is a tunnel through an island and under the fjord's water. Norwegian infrastructure is simply incredible.
Tom was just pointing out that the peaks here are a lot sharper. Maybe pointing out that these are a younger set of mountain ranges than the fjords that we were at a little further south. We're motoring into Hjørunfjorden, or Hjørunfjorden. Hard to say the name. We're going to be staying at Sabu tonight, on the right up here. And there's, as in most fjords, there's just a ton of beauty. There's some waterfalls over here. Cute little village. Or at least a township. Really extravagant peaks. There's even snow. We're coming into the town of Sæbo, and supposedly there's a marina right ahead of me, or a small one with a small little dock that we can go on. We can't go on the inner dock. I guess sailboats are too deep. Even though it's like crazy deep out here, as soon as you get toward the shore, it gets quite shallow. It's pretty cool.
We're tied up, off-season again, at the dock in Sabu, and we are very excited that the restaurant is open. We end up sitting there for hours as the skies dump buckets of rain on poor sea rows.
Town of Oye is up here. It's maybe a couple miles off. It's up at the head of the fjord. Supposed to be an old hotel here. It has a fair bit of history, which would be fun to learn about. What is that? And then the modern. All right, she's not gonna walk over the new bridge. They really do a nice job in Norway with their hiking trails. They're all labeled green for easiest. I think it's blue and then red and then black for expert. And this here has a map and a little shelter, some information, and then the trail sets off.
As we walked out of town, a local farmer stopped and asked us if we wanted to go up to see some of the sights. He had his tractor and cart. We couldn't turn this down.
Here we go. We're being abducted.
This lovely old man has lived in Oya for all of his life and witnessed several serious stone and snow and ice avalanches that changed life here.
This is the old road before the flooding and this lake formed. And you can see that there was no water here before because the road goes right down in it.
There was a small worker settlement here that was buried in water when an earthen avalanche closed the natural flow of water through this area. And these are some of the foundations. Short diversion to help out the tour bus operator. The peaks in this fjord are particularly high. Many are over 1,500 meters. It's understandable with this height and the severity of the Norwegian weather that avalanches are a constant danger.
All right, we have a partially sunny day or a minimally cloudy day to go into the Storfjorden. And been driving down this fjord for like a day and a half. We're at the point that we're going to be turning here pretty soon to get into Sunnylvsfjorden to go down to Geiranger and Hellesylt. We're flying a drone up one of these waterfalls because they're just so remarkable. There's so many of them and they come trickling all the way down with each set of rain, constantly filling the fjord. Never-ending sound of the waterfalls.
After a quick stop to check out Hellesylt, we are off for Geiranger, the big attraction deep in this fjord.
When we read about coming into this fjord, we've read that it's so busy. There's lots of boats, big, huge cruise ships, small local cruise ships, fast ferries, all kinds of stuff like that, ribs. And we might have seen like one local cruise ship. It's already like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's it. It's just incredible. This is just like August 22nd or something like that. We just feel so incredibly fortunate that we're able to enjoy this incredible beauty almost entirely alone. This is looking down the arm of the fjord that heads over to Geiranger. And this is down to Hellesylt. God, there's just tower after tower after tower. It's just gorgeous. We're heading down into the town of Geiranger at the end of this fjord branch. It's about 6 p.m. So the light is really pretty. There's a lot of waterfalls through here. Each one's pretty unique. I like this one because it's just misting off of the rocks all the way down. Oh, this is the land of the amazing waterfalls. There's this huge bowl up there that this waterfall is falling down into from the very top. And then it comes down here, all the way down to the bottom. Nice, another thin one up there next to it, goes all the way to the top. think we're coming up on what is known as the Seven Sisters. We'll capture a bunch more of that in a minute, and then I'm looking over here to this side, and there's a whole bunch more coming down over on this side. It's really quite an amazing sight in here.
Can't argue with that. That is a cliff that goes straight down to the water, vertical. And of course we have some artists here wanting to record the moment with their initials. That's great. All the people's graffiti or initials there too. One person started it and everybody continued.
We are so happy we have the sweet town almost to ourselves on this night, since there was no cruise ship in port. It was a different place in the morning. Here is Sea Rose and our sight as we looked out the fjord. We were able to minimize the impact of the crowds by taking a long hike way up on top of the mountainside to enjoy the high pastures and waterfall views. Join us next time as we make our way to the charming coastal city of Alesund to pick up our next guests of the season and head to some amazing offshore island communities. Thanks for watching, and make sure you're living your best life.